Find a seat. Plenty of seats up front. Don't be afraid, it's not church. Find a seat. I know it's getting a little tough, but there are seats here. Find a seat. If you got to go in somebody's lap, that's okay too. We're all buddies here. All right, I want to welcome everyone to the January 10th meeting 2020 here at InfoAge. And my voice is not carrying enough. I have to stick it in my mouth here. How are we going? Are we doing it better? Is that better? Is that better? No. That's better.
It's breaking up.
That's better.
Is there connection?
Yeah? Okay. Okay. And I want to welcome everyone to a new year of collecting. And by the way, dues are due, but I know everybody in this room has paid their dues, correct? Correct? All right. Okay. All right. Any new faces in the group? Any new faces? Yes, sir. Who are you? Stand up, please.
Herman Red.
I'm sorry, Herman?
Herman Red, yeah. Eatontown.
Eatontown. And you are collecting what?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, then you'll be an easy mark to sell something to, I'll tell you.
I volunteer at InfoAge and work with the radio guys, so they invited me in, so here I am. So.
Oh, well, welcome. All right.
He's our friend.
All right, I guarantee you, when you leave here, you'll probably leave with a radio under your arm then.
Yeah, well, I got junk in my basement, some old radio.
But yeah, make room, and we always need more junk. It's JUNQUE. Okay, anybody else? Yes, sir.
This new person who came over to see what you have here.
You're from where?
Just wanted to see if it was interesting for this.
Okay.
I don't know whether that was what you're looking for.
All right, but you're collecting?
No, I just came over to see if I wanted to participate in some of that.
Yeah.
So.
All right, good. This is who we are, and this is what we do in January.
I'll try to load you down.
That's not a problem. Only happy to have you. Okay, Infirmary report. All right, since our last November meeting, the name John Mihal came up, and unfortunately he passed away. He was a member. He died at 92 years of age. My problem is I can't put a face to his name. Does anybody know who John Mihal was? M-I-H-A-L?
He used to come to Princeton more often than here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You remember him, Dave? You can just...
Oh, yeah, I met him several times there. Yeah, he was kind of a tall guy. He was kind of quiet, but...
Oh, well, I'm sad not to know who he was. I don't like that. All right. Anyway, he did pass away in October, and so that broke our 5 months of infirmary reports with no deaths in the family, so to speak. Okay, but not an NJARC member, but a famous New England club and NEVAC member. The well-known and respected Ray Bitler recently passed away at age 97. These are great ages, aren't they? Prolific writer of our restoration books, 5, I believe, and my favorite being the Philco condenser block Rosetta Stone, which are these books I think so many of us do have, yes? Dial belts. I believe he wrote 5 of them. And if you ever to the Boston Club, he was always there. Did anyone know him? I imagine, Ray, you knew him, yes?
Did you say Ray Bitler?
Yes.
He passed away?
Yes, he did.
Oh, sorry.
About 2 weeks ago.
We visited with him several times.
Yeah, smart guy, worked restoring radios right to the end. He actually had another book on the presses. Well, I don't mean that literally, but he was working on another book.
Yeah, just sorry to hear that.
Yeah, very capable guy. And he was self-published, and really this Condensers and More second edition. Believe me, when you're doing Philco radios, all right, this is ridiculous. When you're doing Philco radios, you definitely have to have this book. It's a real translator of all the blocks. So anyway, I'm sure you'll read more about him very soon. Okay, on to other old business. We had our fall repair clinic November 16th in the building 9010D, which is commonly known as the Popcorn Building. And if you were with us a few years back, you know why we called it the Popcorn Building. But I believe in the very near, well, the next fall repair clinic, we won't be suffering popcorn building anymore, that we will have our repair clinics in October instead of November. So that'll eradicate that problem and perhaps that memory of the popcorn room. So stay tuned for any comments.
Fine.
Thanks, Sal. Okay. All right, December 14th, we had our holiday party at the Westlake Golf and Country Club. I'll just scream. All right. In Jackson, where we celebrated the our RTM docents. We had a very nice time. If you weren't there, as usual, it was a great operation for us. Any comments on that? Any comments? Test. Thank you.
Don't eat it.
I won't eat it. Thank you. Unfortunately, Bill Zakowski is not here with us. I'm sure he's watching us right now. Unfortunately, he had to go to Florida to have fun in the sun.
I'm sure he's watching.
Thank you very much, Bill. We do appreciate it.
But he did bring the soldering iron, he told me.
He did bring it. And I think a 2-meter rig he said he was bringing too. Okay. Any comments about our holiday party? Anything? Anybody not happy with the gifts they happen to end up with?
I had a great time.
Yes, Dr. Alex.
I would say, looking at the quality of the gifts outside of the one that I received, it was a little disappointing. No, I'm just looking at
No.
how many multimeter testers can people buy at Radio Shack, if there was a Radio Shack, for $10, and how many beat-up transistor radios, sort of semi-new in boxes, it's just crappy stuff.
Is that what you got?
No, I'm saying I got the only good piece probably in the entire, evening.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah, don't demean this. That used to be a really interesting event, and now it's just a lot of crap. It's really, it's...
Really?
Yeah. Bad stuff drives out the good. Bad money drives out the good. Bad stuff is driving out the good. People are not going to drop in nice stuff if other people are putting in crap. And you're going to watch it. I'm watching this for 10 years, and it's gotten worse. And you can see how many heads are nodding to see whether I'm right.
Oh my goodness, but you're the only one commenting in the negative.
And he got something good.
And you got the best thing. What was it you got?
I got the nice green Zenith radio, which when I plug it in at home needs one of Al's fancy antennas to get a signal. But Bob Bennett works on it. He restored that. It runs good. And it looks very nice.
I'm so sorry you're disappointed, Alex.
But see, all of this jibber-jabber back and forth, that's the fun of the game. That is the fun of it.
All of this,
If everything was $100 worth of a gift and everybody was happy, you got to have crap going out there too. And it's subjective. Some people thought that was a very good $20 item. And if it's something from Radio Shack, I mean, that's going to be very collectible in the near future.
Just like Sears Roebuck.
Right.
I got a very, very nice home-built power supply that I think probably had several $100 worth of labor going into it.
Yes, I remember it. Yes, and I happen to know who built it too. Yeah. Oh. I don't know what to tell you, Dr. Alex. Considering you got the best thing there, I don't know what to say to you. Maybe the next time you'll get the worst, and you'll even feel worse.
Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead.
Okay, that's enough comments. Okay, moving on. Reginald Fassenden, broadcast December 25th, 1906. Fact or fiction? We'll talk about it in the Ham Shack corner. Okay. Any other old business? Okay. All right, on to new business. Ray Chase wrote a very informative article in the InfoAge newsletter this month on the vintage and classic telephone systems now installed at our RTM. And to our new members and potential new members, please visit the RTM, the Radio Technology Museum. It's ever-changing, all right, ever-increasing, more comprehensive exhibits. And, you know, if you just come here for a meeting or you just come to Princeton, you're missing out on a hell of a lot. You really got to spend some time. Open Wednesdays, 1 to 5. Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 5. People really give their hearts and souls to keep it working, too. So please, you know, this is an amazing fact that we have here, that we can invite people in to such a museum.
Richard.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh.
Yeah, as the recruiter of historians, we call them historians. If you like it and you live within some reasonable distances here, think about volunteering and becoming one of the historians who works in the museum. It's a lot of fun. It really is.
And as Harry's saying, we're always looking for historians, docents. Yes, all right. Okay. All right. Last night, happened to see PBS American Experience, program about Senator Joe McCarthy. They had a scene on him and the Senate committee and his entourage, and they were entering the Marconi Hotel. It was at about 75 minutes. It was a 2-hour program. Very informative. Either way you want to look at it, very informative, comprehensive history. And all of a sudden I'm sitting there and they were talking about Fort Monmouth. They didn't mention Camp Evans. Fort Monmouth. And all of a sudden I saw Senator McCarthy and his entourage going up the steps of the Marconi Hotel. I said, oh, look at that. And then a few other, some of the outbuildings and things, and it was over pretty quick. And I do know some of the history of him coming here. I think it was 1953 or 54. And so I immediately got on the email and sent it out to Colonel Mike and let him know about it. And he said, yeah. Somebody else just emailed me now, too, about it. So he's going to try and use that snippet for some, they're going to have a Joe McCarthy exhibit here in the near future, so they want to try and grab that. And I'm sure PBS, they always repeat it, so American Experience.
They actually had it on a couple of PBS stations. They had it on 13 one night, and I think it was on 21 last night.
Yeah, I saw it on 21 last night.
Show it, over and over.
Yeah. So, you'll see it. Oh, look at that. And you say, hey, I know that place. Look at that. Okay, next on it. All right, NEVIC, or the New England Vintage Electronics Club, will have their first show Sunday, March 1st, and that's in Nashua. It used to be called the Boston show, but now it's Nashua. Hopefully they have good weather. Okay. All right, the Ham Shack corner. Any other new business? Anybody else have new business? David?
Well, just one real quick announcement, hot off the presses from a day or two ago that will be of interest to probably nobody in this room.
Oh, thank you very much, David.
The early television convention, which I think most people manage to miss every year, always scheduled for the first weekend in May. This year, it was moved to the last weekend in August. So if you had it on your calendar, scratch it off and move it to the new date.
Okay, thank you. Marvin? Come in, Marvin, we're on camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For your close-up. Come closer to me. Come closer to me, because I'm... There we go.
Some of you may have heard this already, but I just read it in my radio news that they will be taking commentary on the switch to digital AM. I believe the date is in May, and I believe that they will be taking answers to the commentary in March. And in the over the communicator, I'll publish those dates, and I'll also give you the actual number of the switchover document that they're proposing also. But in the same news, I was reading about the switchover taking place in Europe. Europe is completely going over to digital. All the car radios, they're not building them for AM or reception anymore. I mean, it's AM digital reception. It's no longer analog. Completely switching over. So I thought it was going to be coming at a later date, but it looks like we might be losing AM a lot earlier than we thought. So I don't know if we have any voice in this. But maybe we should think about...
That'd be something to talk about.
Yeah. But I'll put it on the communicator in a day or two. I'll give you the actual number of the item you can comment on and the dates that they'll be taking commentary on.
All right, thank you for the bad news, Marvin.
Sell your radios now. They can use
Yeah, it's going to put a kink in our sales this evening. Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, on to the Ham Shack Corner. Okay. All right, we're in the midst of winter coming. It's been rather mild, but we're still in winter. News last month. Ria Jaram, N2RJ, who gave us a presentation a few months back, sent an article to me where she was featured in the Washington Post newspaper, listening to the reception of the Christmas Eve broadcast by Reggie Fessenden. I never said his name correctly. Which occurred in 1906, okay?
She doesn't look that old.
Okay. The transmission is an 8-minute loop from a homebrew transmitter built by engineer and ham Brian Justin, WI2XLQ, in Lynchburg, Virginia. And of course, that was a recreation of the original broadcast. Now, what does that mean? Well, reading the whole article, there was a little snippet of information from a member of the New Jersey Antique Radio Club, a Mr. James O'Neill, who we know very well. All right, James O'Neill, retired broadcast engineer and editor for the Broadcast Technology Society, said he told the story. He told the story of the Fessenden broadcast for years before researching it around its 100th anniversary. Though Fessenden completed a well-documented radio demonstration with reporters present around December 21st, 1906, O'Neill said he found no evidence for the very romanticized myth that has been passed down by the engineers for generations. I did not set out to debunk the story, he said. Nothing lined up to make it factual. There's just nothing there. Justin, Brian Justin, who continues to do the loop and transmission, he says, might not be based on actual events, but listeners say it's still a powerful tradition. So obviously, it's a little funny. It's sort of inside baseball. James O'Neill, we know. James E. O'Neill, we know fairly well. And he is a stickler. Let me just put it that. I mean, if he says that, I'm sure it's true. Yes, Dr. Alex.
Well, I mean, this is the difference between history and myth. So if you have historians in the museum, you've got to be very careful with the so-called Christmas Eve broadcast.
Yeah.
The only record of it, curiously, is his widow.
Yes.
Writing like 25 years later. Could she have confused Christmas with this December 21st to find, surely one of these, wireless operators out at sea would have, wow, I'm listening to this. I would have, they would have said something. It would have made the newspapers, and there's not a peep of evidence. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. And his wife, Helen, did write a book in 1940, so it was even later than that, called Fessenden, Builder of Tomorrows, with an S. And that's her recollection, as you say, as a recollection. Yeah. But what's very interesting, too, is that Rhea sent this to me, and there's a picture of her and her kids, and that was featured in the Washington Post. How they caught up with her, I'm not sure, but I think it's pretty neat. Marvin, you'll know this. I'll send this to you. And,
Well, you don't have it.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I just read the same
Marvin?
article today.
My buddy?
Yeah, I just read the same article today, and I'm going to write the guy from the Washington Post and see if we can get it into the broadcaster. And that way you sort of can make your own, come to your own conclusion. As far as a guy out in sea in 1906, I'm sort of wondering if this is all true or not anyway. But if I'm on a ship at sea out there and I start hearing, somebody playing the violin or singing Christmas music in 1906 on my radio, and I went over to the captain and said, "Hey, Cap, guess what I heard?" Who knows how many of these guys, maybe somebody did hear it, but they just didn't want to be accused as being a nut, and that's why they didn't report it. There is that possibility. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But I'll try to get that into the newsletter if the guy gives me permission next month. But it's one of the pictures in the article is our friend, and she's got her two twin daughters. Three.
Right there.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but two are twin daughters and another daughter, and they're in front of her digital display of transmission. So. Kind of cute. And there's also a picture of the transmitter that this guy's using.
Yeah, it was beautiful, handmade.
Really nice.
Really
so
nice.
I'll try to get it in if we get permission to do that.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right. On a lighter note, did anybody attend the FLARC or Fair Lawn Amateur Radio Club's annual after Thanksgiving Day auction? Oh, I missed it too. I couldn't make it. Yeah, Bobby, you're usually there, right?
Yeah. Usually.
Yeah. That's up at Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Up north for you guys, down here in the flatlands, and every Thanksgiving Friday they have their annual auction of stuff coming in. It's a very big auction, a long one too. Okay, all right. Okay, March 28th is our swap meet. All right, it's just around the corner. Our swap meet Hamfest show, and I have an early reservation from the Vice Director of the Hudson Division of the ARRL, William Hudzik. And he will be manning the ARL table. So get your reservations in early, and I will ask you and I will remind you for all the hams and amateur radio fellows we have to please pay him a little respect and wear your call signs like you did the last time with Rhea. We really appreciate that. So that'll be good. And again, we're going to be sold out again quick, so get them in. You think, oh, look, it's 2 months away. Well, guess what? It's already happening. Okay. Anybody want to say anything else before we go into break?
Just one quick one. Is Mr. Iridian? Is he here? Okay. See me. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Richard.
Yes.
On the broadcast,
Greg.
there's a error on one date. The field day is the 27th and 28th of June, not the week before.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Yeah.
Is it real? Yes. So
It's the fourth. It should be the fourth weekend of the June.
Yes.
wait a minute. The field day? It's what day?
It should be the 24th, 7th, and the 28th.
27, 28. Okay.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, we can change it on the, I'll change it on the communicator and get it out on that, and then we'll change it on.
All right, I'm just looking at my my listing, and got for June. I'm sorry, I've got June 19th, 20th, and 21st.
No, it's the week after.
It's the week after then. Okay, so I'm wrong then. Okay. All right, great, thank you. Okay, all right, after a short break, we've got a lot to auction off here. And again, as you know or don't know, all proceeds go to you, the owner of the equipment that you brought in. I don't see any junk, which is a very good thing. I see a few box lots, but that's not a problem because it's not junk. All right, but you must tell us what the status of the equipment you brought in is, so you can get the highest dollar value from them. And then we will have, but first we will have Al Clays, after the break, giving us his talk on, oh boy, the last of the broadcast DXing, the way it sounds with Marvin. Boy, what do you say, Al? What's your famous quote? No, there's another one you say. Boy, I'm glad I'm old. As most of us are. Okay, guys, short break. Sale of 50-50. We need help.